Well, we're finally getting to hear the other side of the story of the battle with Ray Fisher, the man known as Cyborg, hashtag Borg Life. This is coming from CBR.com. Opposing views on Justice League toxic set environment emerge, but are met with pushback. New correspondence has come to light suggesting that Joss Whedon's behavior on the set of Justice League was due to the cast and pressure. I was wondering about that because something about what Ray Fisher has been talking about just doesn't seem to make sense. Let's get into the article before we do. If you want to support my work, I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications. Let's get on with the article. Actor Ray Fisher was the first to claim that on the set of Justice League, it had become a toxic work environment under Joss Whedon, who was brought on to replace director Zack Snyder following the latter's personal family tragedy. Opposing views on the events on the set of the film have now surfaced defending Whedon. Well, look, Joss Whedon is known to be kind of a jerk, and he's got some weird stuff going on and accusations against him, not just related to this, but he came in to deal with this Avengers-style movie crossover event in a project that, like, there were a lot of issues going on with a lot of personalities and a lot of demands. And I get that Ray Fisher, this guy at the end here, the cyborg, who is half robot, he was mad about how he was treated, but you have to have some appreciation for the fact that, look, this director is being asked to finish someone else's work, and it's not like the work was all going along perfectly. They had whatever problems they had, and they hadn't gotten to editing, and trying to pull it all together yet. So, you have to wonder if someone's saying, well, I've been mistreated when I was on set. Like, all right, fine. That's a terrible thing. What happened to you, Ray Fisher? He won't tell us. He said that he was mocked because there could be someone else they could replace him with as the cyborg character. Like, well, what are you even talking about? Yeah, of course. Like, how many times has Batman been replaced? They can replace Batman, but they can't replace Cyborg? Come on. In correspondence that leaked through a live stream with John Campea, a source claimed that Whedon had been placed under pressure from Warner Brothers. Well, of course. Joss Whedon faced unreal expectations and deadlines from the execs almost immediately in a toxic set environment, like you wouldn't imagine. The email stated that where Zack Snyder had developed a positive relationship with cast and crew, Whedon was met with a level of hostility. Well, I mean, it's understandable. Zack Snyder must have gone out of his way to connect with each of the cast, make them feel comfortable, get their input, work together. But that said, he dumped the entire cast when he had whatever his personal tragedy thing was, right? So that's his personal business, and that's fine. But, it takes time to build up a good rapport with everybody that you're working with creatively. It doesn't just happen overnight. So, yeah, they felt like they had their influence and their connection with the production taken away from them. I'm sure the cast felt uncomfortable with that. I'm sure the studio was stressing out to no end. And also with Joss Whedon, like, look, yes, he had a very successful career as a director, and he's made a ton of money. Joss Whedon still wants to work in the business. So when he takes on a project, it's got to get done. If Joss Whedon didn't execute and get this project done to the satisfaction of the studio, it would be terrible for his reputation. And it would affect, like, potentially the rest of his career. So there's a lot of pressure on everybody when they're working together on a tight deadline, probably with limited resources. The email stated that where Zack Snyder had developed a positive relationship with crew, Whedon was met with a level of hostility. I would have been hostile too. It's a very unsettling experience for all of them. The source then compared Whedon's experience on Justice League with Marvel Studios' Avengers. Quote, the Avengers experience was tough on Joss, but everyone there, from the execs to the crew to all the cast, were all on the same team. Everyone checked their egos at the door and were all dedicated to make the best movie possible for Kevin Feige. Marvel and the fans, Justice League was an entirely different experience. Well, in fairness, like, this is really the first movie with all of them together You know, they're all individual people. They don't know this director. They don't know how the movie's going to come out. If the movie comes out bad, it affects all their careers. Yes, you too, Ray Fisher. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure on everybody. And the Marvel studio people, you know, even if you're going on the Avengers and it's the first movie that you've been in, the other people have a sense of camaraderie because they've been in multiple movies together. And there's kind of a momentum there and something that everybody feels comfortable with. So it's a very difficult environment for everybody. Really terrible that Zack Snyder apparently couldn't spend any time to help transition Whedon with the team and make the team feel comfortable. But it's look, we've all been in those kinds of work and social environments. It's stressful when you have change, so it's understandable. According to the source, many of those involved with Justice League displayed little to no concern for the film and were focused on its impact on their careers. Not Ray Fisher. Maybe. Furthermore, these unnamed individuals contributed to conflicts that would arise. You know, the thing is this. If you're now in fairness to the cast, like Gal Gadot has a lot riding on it. They all have a lot riding on this. If the movie comes out screwy, it's very bad for the studio. But if it wasn't a success, and it wasn't as big a success as they hoped, it underperformed. It would affect all of their careers. It could affect them doing future sequels for the independent characters, additional Wonder Woman movies or Aquaman movies or whatever. Certainly, Cyborg movies won't be happening if people don't love Ray Fisher's performance in this movie. And yeah, it could. But if it's so terrible, they could be typecast as a bad character and a bad executed character, and they could lose a lot of future opportunities. So yeah, their careers are on the line. Furthermore, these unnamed individuals contributed to conflicts that would arise. On top of that, a few specific people would never pass up the chance to remind Joss that it wasn't his movie. Ooh, not nice. This became a regular bargaining chip whenever certain parties weren't happy with what was happening with their characters or their scenes. Could you imagine you've got these, 6, 7 different people running around in the cast? They had been getting like all this special treatment that they were comfortable with from Zack Snyder. Maybe Zack Snyder was making promises to them about future projects and things like that within this DCU, and then outside with other projects that he could potentially be involved in. Then along comes Joss Whedon, who's just like, yeah, we got to get serious and get this movie done. This became, the regular bargaining chip. This is interesting. So John Campea was discussing an email about the Justice League set and accidentally brought it up on screen. Very interesting stuff. Read it. Okay. Several readers have cast doubts on whether or not the leak was intentional, as well as the legitimacy of its contents with regards to intention. Lightcast podcast reported that it had been sent the email and claimed that it was a setup to paint Joss Whedon as the victim and to take heat off of Jeff Johns as well. It's worth noting that Fisher has retweeted Lightcast's statement. Of course he would. Oh, for the love of God. Like, there's no villain in this whole thing. It's just, Fisher is in the wrong. And that's why I keep doing stories about this, because this is completely unprofessional. If Fisher has a complaint, he needs to say exactly what it is. Or he needs to be quiet about it. That's just life. That's what you have to do. Should Fisher be risking his career by making vague accusations? No. Should he be risking his career by making specific accusations? No, he really shouldn't be. Because people view you as a troublemaker. I mean, that's the problem. It's not a good kind of trouble. It's a bad kind of trouble. Because if this story went in the wrong direction, it could damage the DCU franchise. So every time you hire someone who's going to create trouble like Ray Fisher is doing, you could potentially damage the franchise. Like, it's that serious. So why would you hire? Ray Fisher seems like he's a good, actor, and he can bring a lot to a role, and he's, fine. But it's too risky to hire people who are going to make trouble on things. Fisher, there's another story I'm not going to tell, but it related to comics publishing, and I got advice to not hire someone who's very talented because they always say bad things about the people that they work with. And I was like, I guess that's a good point. You got to be careful about your reputation. Fisher, who plays Cyborg, accused Whedon in the summer of this year of abuse on set, going on to explain that the director had been enabled by John Berg and DC Chief Creative Officer Jeff Johns, the latter of which allegedly threatened the actor's career when Fisher attempted to raise these issues. Fisher has received support from some of his castmates, including Aquaman. I've seen that Jason Momoa says he stands with Ray Fisher. Okay, but what the hell is Ray Fisher accusing him of? Abuse? Did he grab him in the wrong place? What is he talking about? Warner Media and Warner Brothers have since launched an investigation into Fisher's claims. How do you investigate a claim if he won't tell you what happened? However, it was claimed that Fisher failed to cooperate with the investigator. Fisher has disputed Warner Brothers' assertions, and there have been calls for an independent investigator by Fisher. Fisher said no, he wants another investigator. What are they doing? Somebody should call the police and say that somebody was abused. The police will be like, yo, how are they abused? This sounds serious. He hurt my feelings, and I don't want to be more specific about it. Like, all right, well, what's the crime? Justice League stars Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Henry Cavill as Superman, Amy Adams as Lois Lane, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Ezra Miller as The Flash, and Ray Fisher as Cyborg. And, of course, Jeremy Irons and Alfred Pennyworth. Diane Lane as Martha Kent. Ciaran Hinds as Steppenwolf. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, and J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon. Zack Snyder's Justice League will premiere exclusively on HBO Max 2021 because it's Zack Snyder's version. Tell me in the comments below, do you believe Ray Fisher's account or do you believe this other sneaky account that's been leaked out? I believe the sneaky account. I think I do. Tell me what you think in the comments. Also, if you want to support my work, I really appreciate it. collegeofthedead.com. Pick up a copy of College of the Dead Graduation Day, the Zombie Apocalypse book. It's number 2 in an ongoing series. You can get the first one. You can get that number 2 one. And number 3 is coming out soon. College of the Dead Spring Break. My amazing Zombie Apocalypse ongoing full-color series. I know you're going to like it. It's really, really well done. It's really well done. It's zombies done right. And check out epicmermaids.com. Sign up to be on the email list for The Mermaids, my ongoing full-color series. It's like Game of Thrones with mermaids. It's 48 pages, full color. Really well done. I'm very proud of this. This project took about 2 years to complete. The whole work is done, and I'm excited to be able to publish it finally in Comicsgate. All right, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, and I will see you soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.